This is Don't Panic, episode number 251, recorded August 26th, 2019, Threading the Needle. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, and most importantly, you. I am Sean Jennings, joined as always by two guys who I think just are trying to avoid being home as much as possible. Maybe we'll find out why. It's Colby Rabideau and Dan Miller. Gentlemen, hello.
Hi, Sean.
I just miss being home.
Do you? Because it seems like you're never there from our discussions. My goodness.
Today, before I even did this show, I had some time, and I was finally able to play Persona 5 again, and I got to a really interesting part. So yeah. I wish that I could play more Persona 5.
That's
in some
what
ways.
that's what you
Not
miss about being
exclusively.
home? Persona
Yes.
5?
Yes. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't want to be home at all.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
You're a real nomad.
I haven't played a video game in like a month, but it's kind of a while. Maybe it was less than that.
Well, it's good to be outside.
Ugh. Sean, I got a sunburn on the cruise and it was peeling.
You should have taken my advice, which is don't go in the sun. I didn't get a sunburn. It was great. Because I avoided the sun.
I didn't until like the very last minute. So, and it wasn't that bad, all things considered. So I'll call that a win mostly, but...
Yeah. You had a good time otherwise. And Dan, you were just, you were out camping in the great wilderness.
The Great Wilderness, yes. We made a pizza oven. That was probably the highlight. And
Out of stones?
out of wood and stones.
That sounds really
And,
flammable.
A metal grate that someone left behind. Well, it turns out that a flammable oven is a great way to heat up a pizza from all sides.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because you want the top heat, you want the bottom heat.
You need
A
the
regular
three kinds of
fire.
heat.
You need the exactly the Trivection oven.
Very nice.
Ah,
You may
so
be
yeah,
the woodsiest person I know, which says something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You don't seem like a person who'd know that many woodsy people.
No, I avoid them.
I think you would like. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. Have you gone? You've gone camping?
Like, walk out to the middle of nowhere camping? No. And I don't think I would like that. But I do
What
like
about
limited edition hiking.
limited edition hiking? But
Yes.
you don't like. Do you like car camping?
No. I don't like being outside overnight is really the problem. I will do stuff during the day outside, you bet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sean, I've seen you with my
Yes,
own
we've
two
camped.
eyes. These eyes
Yep.
have seen you camp
That is correct.
outside in
I
a
have
tent.
done it. I have done
at
it.
a campground,
Yep.
structured
A
camp.
state park.
Yes.
Beautiful state park. Yes. Nope.
Right.
Nope. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Sorry. And that was the one time that I did do it. At that state park, I was so terrified that I mostly just hung out in my car the first night because there were sounds in the woods, which I later learned were animals who live there. But it was pitch black dark. I couldn't see what they were. So I kind of just ran in the car, put my car headlights on high beams pointing into the woods, and then just kind of cowered in there for a while.
Nice. Yeah.
Not great.
Fun times.
Yeah, the most fun.
How was the cruise?
Well, much like camping, there were animals all over the boat.
Oh boy, were they!
In the middle of the night.
But these had unlimited access to alcohol.
Whew.
Yeah.
It was good. It was nice. I think we didn't get drunk enough. You know, I felt like we really could have tried harder.
That's true. However, I didn't feel that bad most of the cruise.
No.
Except
we
that
napped a lot,
the
which was
first
good.
morning. I felt pretty bad the first morning.
Colby,
Were
did
you
you
sick?
go?
No, I drank too much.
Yes, we definitely went way too hard on the. Like, we were unready for unlimited
Right.
alcohol, so we were.
We weren't prepared.
Nope, and we learned quick. Colby, did you go home with an extra Apple Watch band, by chance? A black one?
Like the
The
sports
sport
one?
band, yeah.
I don't think so, because
Okay.
that's the one I have, but
Right.
it's possible.
Well, keep an eye out, because I can't find mine.
Yeah, I'll check my suitcase, because
I
it's possible
highly
I
doubt
put it
you
away
did,
and
but
then grabbed yours thinking it
I
was
likely shoved it into a pocket somewhere, and we'll find
Do
it
you-
2 years from now, after I've already replaced
That's
it.
what. So what always gets me is I put it in one of the weird zipper pockets in my suitcase, and then I never see it again
Yep.
until next time I put something weird in there.
I just found my sunglasses yesterday, and those are big. Hard to misplace.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you get... I got sick. I've been sick all week. I had a cold all week.
No, thank
Unfortunately, I
God.
got that cruise cold. It was... Or plane cold.
Mm.
It was very nasty. You're muted, Dan.
Oh, sorry, cruise cold.
Cruise cold. Well, I don't know if it was there as the plane. I was stuck in a hot, tiny commuter plane on the tarmac in D.C. for like an hour and a half. And had my first ever aborted takeoff, which is fun. I've never...
Ooh.
Oh, I had one of those for me 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was exciting. And then they came back with, there was an indicator on the dash that didn't look right. And then they just never told us if they fixed it or not. And then we just waited and then took off again.
Our problem was that it rained for 30 minutes at LaGuardia, so flights just got canceled. 30 minutes. See, here's the problem. I thought about this a lot. I was stewing. I was like, 30 minutes. Why would they cancel a plane just for 30 minutes of rain? It's like, okay, I understand that, like, it was pretty intense rain. And, you know, you might have some delays that result from those 30 minutes of rain. But I was like, oh, but then you might have delays because now you have to, like, wait, like, even longer. You're not just delayed 30 minutes, you're delayed longer because there are other planes that are supposed to be landing during the times that the other planes that are supposed to land during those 30 minutes are supposed to land. It's like,
Right.
but still, like, I'm here. I've been waiting over an hour after the plane has boarded. I'm on the plane, ready to take off. And now our flight gets canceled? It's like, but then I realized, they don't care about your time or making you happy. It costs them more money to have the crew sitting on this little commuter plane in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
Yep.
than it would be to just have you get on the next flight available at 5:45 a.m. the following day. That doesn't cost them any money.
There was a flight at about the same time I was taking off, and over the announcement speaker, they were like, and it was a different guy than the normal announcements, and he was like, attention, the people on the flight to Cincinnati that was delayed at 9:30 a.m., and now, mind you, this is like 8 p.m., so it's like 12 hours later, United has decided to grant you a food voucher. If you would like a food voucher, please go. And I'm like, a 12-hour delay, and they're getting a food voucher. Not
Yeah.
acceptable.
American Airlines now officially on my shit list.
Yeah. I got back, so I got on my flight smoothly. It left smoothly. However, we got to Boston and could not get a gate for an hour. So we just sat on the tarmac on the other side, which is probably not as bad as either of your experiences. However, there were 6 to 10 babies on my plane.
Oh boy.
And by the time we docked with the jetway, they were all screaming. I was screaming on the inside. Yeah. It was a cacophony of babies.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
My brother texted me, who's watching live right now, and he said, talk about how farts get trapped on planes. I'm not going to do that. I will
Although, we could... no, I guess we already talked about that. I was going to bring up the story of KLM tweeting about the mortality statistics, depending
Yes.
on where you sit on the plane. But we already talked about that.
Yes, we did. We did. But I was going to say, I love... I've had to do this a couple times out of D.C. It's gate A1, but it's not a real gate. It's one of those fake gates that all the small planes fly out of. But it's literally like 24 different mini gates within one gate. and you're in like this big room, and at any given time there are like 4 planes boarding and taking off all at the same time, so it's complete pandemonium. Because all the announcements are over one another, and they're like, the flight to Asheville, North Carolina, Group 2, and then like some other random person like, Atlanta, you're Group 4, and then but they're all on top of each other. It's pandemonium. It was great. I hate those commuter planes. They drive me crazy.
Yeah, they suck.
Yes, sir.
But I think we actually do have some tech news to talk about this time.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Tech news? I didn't even look at
because it has
the
been
thing.
2 weeks.
It has been 2 weeks. We are back. As I mentioned, thank you to everybody watching live right now at twitch.tv/Don't Panic Show and on Facebook at facebook.com/Don't Panic Show. Monday nights about 10:15 Eastern. We appreciate it. If you've got any thoughts or comments, put it in the chat room, or I guess text me directly, and either way we'll talk about it. Dan, what's number 1?
Number 1 on the list,
Ding, 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 ding.
coming at you hot, is Apple.
APPLE,
All
Apple.
Uppercase. The Bloomberg
Bloomers.
report.
We've got it all. That's right. Apple reportedly having an event. The date that supposedly has been leaked is September 10th, though that is not official, which means we're 2 weeks away. And they're doing it on a Tuesday. Damn it. That means we're going to be far behind on that one. That's a bummer. But okay. And so a new report in Bloomberg breaks out what we can expect from this year's announcement. Are you guys ready?
Yes. Tell me.
Ready.
We're getting 3 new iPhones, a replacement for the XR, XS, and XS Max. The replacement for the XS and XS Max will both be called Pro models now. Don't know more than that. Don't know if they're going to go for 11 or what number they're going to go for. I've seen 11 floated around. I also don't know if it will be 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max or not, but they will be Pro on those 2. The third phone will replace the XR. The Pro iPhones, both the regular and Max, will feature triple rear cameras that will include for the first time a wide-angle lens, support for better high-resolution photos, better low light, etc. Those Pro phones will also support reverse wireless charging, similar to what you see in commercials for the Galaxy S10, so you can charge your AirPods with them or other iPhones with your phone. We'll also get, and this is probably the thing I'm most excited about, the new multi-angle Face ID sensor, which will allow the phone to sense your face while lying flat on a table. There'll also be better waterproofing and new shatter resistance technology, although Bloomberg does not specify which models will get those specific features. All the phones will include a faster A13 processor, as well as a new Matrix chip that could benefit computer vision and augmented reality performance. Outside of a new matte-colored finish, the Pro phones will look broadly similar to last year's model. No 5G phones, and the XR successor is going to be a minor upgrade. They'll get a dual camera. They won't get the triple camera setup. And those are the phone updates.
Triple camera.
Oh. Doesn't sound too exciting.
I agree. I think some of it's exciting. Like I said, the multi-angle Face ID sensor is like a big win for me. Like literally, I'll like go over a table and like try and get my face over it. It's a pain. I would upgrade probably just for that.
Now, is it going to be able to know when I don't want it to unlock?
Well, right now they have that like look at it thing where if you're not looking at it, it won't do it. So, and again, if you're like really far, it's a good question.
I'm going to have fun with this. Like, I'm going to see like what sorts of like sideways
How far you
glances.
can get away.
Yeah.
I like that. Please report back.
I will.
I would love to know the results. Yeah, so it sounds like cameras will be the big upgrade, and then some of these other things. We also have updates to iPad, new 11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pros. Those will have upgraded cameras, although believed to be including the wide-angle lens, really pushing the augmented reality angle of it, and that Apple will discontinue its entry-level 9.7-inch iPad in favor of the new 10.2-inch model. We'll also get some updated MacBook Pros, going to a 16-inch instead of 15-inch display. The actual size of the computer won't be bigger. It'll just have smaller bezels. And nothing new expected for Apple Watch or any of the other accessories, primarily iPhone.
That's good, because I don't want to buy a new Apple Watch.
No, that'll just be the software stuff we've kind of already seen. New case finishes, maybe.
No new Apple Watch hardware?
According to this rumor, they just say new case finishes, but nothing. But it's also said that there's going to be big accessories updates in the spring in 2020. So, and that's usually when we get Apple Watch stuff.
I thought we usually got it in the fall.
They keep moving it. I'm gonna look here while we're talking.
Yeah, I thought. Well, I could be wrong.
Oh, I'm happy to see what the internet has to say.
Oh, man. 16-inch MacBook Pro. So many inches. Huh. Well, that's cool.
Yep.
There's still a part of me that wants to get an iPad instead of a new laptop.
Interesting. Go on.
There's another part of me that just doesn't want to spend that much money on either thing. So maybe I'll do that for now.
I had the great treat today of an email completely out of nowhere at the office informing me that no one from work watches this. My perfectly fine Mac is due for an upgrade. And I said, hey, great. And I have an iMac. And I said, hey, well, what if instead I got a MacBook and like an external display? And they said, sure. So I might be getting a MacBook, a top-of-the-line new MacBook. Isn't that exciting?
Sean, you should wait a month or whatever.
Yeah, wait a month, get a Mac Pro.
I will not get into the details, but they're actually rushing to buy it now because they only support, they don't support the most current Mac OS. They always support one older. And the new MacBooks after the September event will ship with whatever version we're on. And so they have to buy them now so they don't have to downgrade a new one. Don't even get me started.
That's pretty funny.
Yep. So anyway, so that'll be exciting. I'll report back whenever that happens. I was thinking about this, guys. Here's a little thought discussion here.
Yeah.
We often talk about like big things that would be cool for Apple to put out. AR glasses, self-driving cars, all this kind of. But I would like to know from you guys, what would be a perfect small addition to Apple's products? A feature, an extension, something like not out of the realm of craziness that would make a big difference in your phone, your watch, your laptop, your whatever, that they haven't done yet. What's missing? And I can go first if you want to think about it for a minute.
Yeah, you go first if you have an answer.
Okay. Because I thought about this the other day. I want waterproof AirPods so I can use them in the shower. And when I sweat a lot when mowing the lawn.
The shower is actually a good idea because like you can't hear any speaker in the shower. It's too loud.
You have to turn it way up and it just doesn't. No, it'd be great in your ear.
A small thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, just like you can't invent a whole new product, but just an upgrade type thing. It could be maybe a style. Maybe you think you should have a stylus like the Samsung phones. USB-C. I don't know. There's a whole.
I mean, USB-C on the iPhone at this point in my life would be a huge improvement because everything else actually is USB-C. So the iPhone is so annoying.
Yeah. It only works for me because I have so many lightning cables that I just put them everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm trying to slim myself down to just what I need.
Yeah. I mean that's a noble goal.
But I mean, not a whole new product.
And maybe you don't have an answer. I just thought this was an interesting question.
No, I definitely do have so many things.
I would take an Apple display that was not $6,000.
Sure.
I mean, is that a whole new product though?
No, it's an extension. Because I think I'm talking about things that it would not be surprising to see them announce. Like a self-driving car would be crazy. AR glasses would be crazy. But
yeah.
I think a reasonably priced display is unusual, but not crazy.
Yeah.
Small improvement. I feel like I just had one. I was so distracted by the USB-C thing. I mean, maybe USB-C is my answer. I think like there are other products. I think it would be cool, like Apple getting into like synthesizers and like music creation hardware. I think would be really awesome. My iPhone, my iPad, the laptop, a keyboard. I actually no. I like the keyboard. I like the keyboard. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Colby. Do you have one?
The only other thing I just thought of is like a microphone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like a pro microphone that like just works with things.
Yeah.
In our Facebook Live chat, Rob says automatic app updating for iPhones instead of manual. I think that exists, Rob.
It does exist now.
But you have to go into your iCloud settings.
Mm-hmm.
Or your App Store settings or something.
It's
if you
in both.
search the
There's
settings app for automatic,
There's
you
a
should
toggle
find
for
it.
that.
Well, okay. Oh, actually, I do have one, and it's extremely nerdy.
Bring it on.
I want... Sean, do you know what containers are?
I've been to the Container Store. Is that the same thing?
Yeah,
kind of-
pretty similar.
Okay.
Kind of
I
similar.
like that place. It's fun.
There are computing containers, which are like virtual machines,
Mm-hmm.
but they're you know how Apple has the sandboxed applications now, and you have to like if an app in the Mac App Store is going to be in the Mac App Store, it has to be sandboxed, which means that it can't do certain things. So like all those file management apps are going to get excluded from the App Store now because they are not sufficiently sandboxed, which means that they run and they don't have permissions to do everything.
Yep.
By default, on most like personal computers, when you run a process, it can do anything. I guess Windows has like you can do nothing or you can do anything, which is administrator mode. Containers allow you to sandbox processes and get a lot more fine-grained. Be like, this process can tell the time, and it can talk to this subset of the file system, and that's it. It can't go out in the network. It can't do these things. Or you can be like, it can't read the file system, but it can go out in the network. And there are standard interfaces for this that have gotten really popular on Linux and in big boy enterprise computing stuff. If you ever heard of Kubernetes, then that's what
Hey,
that
that's
is
that thing
based
that's on
off
your
of.
Twitter account.
That's the thing that's on my Twitter account. Apple macOS doesn't support this at all. So if you want to do things with containers, you have to run a Linux virtual machine on your Mac laptop and then do your container stuff in that, and it's horrible. So that would be my one small improvement. Apple needs to support the container runtime interface. Apple, if any huge nerds from Apple are listening to this, I know you want it to. I know you use Kubernetes at Apple. You mustn't be pleased.
I mean, Craig Federighi's a big fan of the show, so...
Right. Man, I wish that I could get like that question upvoted to one of those podcasts that Craig is on every year. Ugh. Maybe I should email him.
I do it. What's the worst thing he'll do? Not read it?
I'm going to email him after.
Oh, this is good. This could be the start of something brilliant.
Yes.
And we have it recorded for all time. We also have a couple other rumors as well. First of all, I do want to say I did check. I've ordered 9 lightning cables in my Amazon history. And I'm sure I've bought more elsewhere.
Yeah.
I have a lot of lightning cables. We did learn a little bit more about Apple TV. Again, these were all rumors. We'll know more in 2 weeks. We know a little more about Apple TV Plus. It's scheduled to launch in November and will come in at $9.99 a month. According to Bloomberg, Apple is looking to reach $50 billion in annual services revenue total by 2020. TV Plus is part of that. We saw a trailer for The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell. A bunch of other shows as well are coming to that too. So not much detail other than that. $9.99 a month, November.
The subscriptions, man.
Speaking of subscriptions, we also heard a little rumor about Apple Arcade as well, the video game subscription service for all of their devices. 9to5Mac came across a price in a promotional message buried in the App Store API, $4.99 a month when it rolls out this fall. Customers will get a 1-month free trial of the service. Overall, over 100 games that can be played across the various platforms and devices. They're currently running an early access test for Apple employees. So we'll see that those titles will be free of in-app purchases, and subscription won't contain ads, and will support family sharing for up to 6 people.
That doesn't sound like a bad deal. I am mildly excited. I'm more excited about Apple TV than I am about Apple News.
Okay.
I would say I'm less excited about Apple TV than I am about Apple Arcade, which wasn't there. There was a pricing leak about that too, right?
About which one?
Apple Arcade?
Yeah, $4.99.
$4.99.
$4.99.
That's a really good deal in my mind. More so than like Apple TV, like it still to me seems like it's priced like a Hulu, or it's just barely under a Hulu or a Netflix. Like I think those are both about $12, but it's just not quite yet at the content promise that I would get from one of those. It's close, but Apple Arcade, like there's nothing really like it, and the content that they have seems so much like so good.
Yeah,
and I think it's really compelling for Apple Arcade specifically if you're a whole Apple ecosystem person and you have the Apple TV and you have the Mac, and you can share games and play across them and all those sorts of things. That's, to me, I mean, for someone like me who pretty much just uses an iPhone and nothing else Apple-wise that much, okay, maybe it's a little more casual, but I think if you really can get a whole ecosystem gaming out of it, $4.99's, I mean, I don't know what Xbox Live Pass, where you get all the games, is I think $9.99 a month, and you have to have a $400 Xbox to play it. Now, I realize those are different games, but still,
yeah,
I think this is an easier add-on.
I feel like $4.99 is about what $4.99 a month is about what I spend on iPhone games, anyways.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's one game in a lot of cases,
Right.
The Apple TV Plus thing is crazy to me because I think 2 or 3 years ago, $9.99 makes sense when there wasn't so much competition. But I just come back to Disney Plus at $6.99, and you get a wait.
Oh my God!
What is going to be on
Star
Apple
Wars
TV
show.
Plus for $9.99? Like they're going to have 6 shows. Like it's not like Netflix at least had a big back catalog before they got into originals. Disney Plus has a huge back catalog. Hulu's got a big back catalog. What's Apple going to have on it? It's $9.99 for the couple shows they're launching with. It says right here, the service will arrive with only 5 original shows. It is not yet clear whether Apple will have other licensed content, although they do own the rights to the entire Peanuts library, which is kind of weird.
Ha! Wait, what?
Apparently, Apple purchased the rights to the entire Peanuts library and is planning an educational Snoopy spinoff.
I mean, I could see how Apple could make it really good really quickly. I just don't think it's there yet. But stuff like that, like...
They got a license.
Yeah. And, I don't know, like the Peanuts stuff, the only time I ever watch Peanuts things is during the holidays, but I do watch them. So yeah, stuff like that, I think could get it to work. Disney Plus, I don't know if we want to pivot to talking about Disney Plus.
Oh, sure. It's a natural...
Let's do it, because I think it's super related, and it's something I'm...
Yeah,
way more positive on.
Yeah, so let's start with what we learned. We talked about Disney Plus on the show before. We learned some new stuff this week. It was the D23 conference, Disney's big conference where they announce a whole bunch of stuff, updates on the parks and on the movies and all that sort of stuff. What we learned about for Disney Plus is that it is coming out November 12th and will cost you $6.99 a month or $69.99 paid annually. It will be available in the U.S. as well as Canada, the Netherlands, Australia, and New Zealand. There will also be a $12.99 a month trio bundle with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, although it's important to note it is the basic ad-included version of Hulu, and ESPN Plus does not actually include the ESPN channels. It's all the extra stuff that isn't on the ESPN channels. People get confused with that. They also confirmed what devices it will be available on at launch, including Apple TV and tvOS. as well as being heavily integrated in all the kind of bonus search stuff and that. Android mobile devices, Android TV, Chromecast, desktop web browsers, iPad, iPhone, PlayStation 4, Roku streaming players, and Roku TV, and Xbox One. No inclusion on Amazon Fire TV at the moment or on Amazon Fire tablets. Customers will be able to subscribe to the service directly on several platforms, including iOS. So you'll actually be able to subscribe through iOS to this. Disney also, like I said, plans to integrate its content with the Apple TV app. We also learned that there will be 4K streaming included on up to 4 devices. It will support offline downloads. And I think that's it, unless you guys want to talk about content as well. We learned a lot about some of the content that will be on it this week. Conference.
I think that, like, tech-wise, Disney Plus and Apple TV are pretty comparable, but Disney Plus compared to most other entrants like Starz or HBO Now, way better. So, like, I've got nothing to complain about in terms of how Disney Plus is implemented. Plus, you may have mentioned this, but the 4 simultaneous streams.
Yeah, 4K streams.
4 simultaneous 4K streams is better than everyone else, I think.
Almost nobody streams 4K content, by the way. Netflix is pretty big with 4K content. Amazon's getting into it, but a lot of these services don't offer 4K content.
Yeah, Hulu doesn't. I didn't know that Amazon did.
Amazon does know that for their originals.
HBO doesn't.
HBO doesn't. YouTube does. And I'm sure Apple TV will at launch, I assume. But it's still pretty new, so that's exciting. And it's, by the way, it's going to be the only place to see a lot. Disney doesn't license their stuff out in 4K like other companies do. Like if I want to go watch, Justice League in 4K, I can go do that. It's licensed in a couple places. Disney does not license 4K stuff. This is going to be the only place you can see their stuff in 4K.
And have they announced the price?
$6.99.
$6.99. That's a better price than Apple TV. And a way better deal.
I mean, my prediction on this, in 2 years, if it's $6.99, I'll eat my hat. I mean, this is an introductory thing, and it's going to, like Netflix. I mean, what did Netflix? Netflix cost $6.99 when it launched a zillion years ago, and it just creeps up, and eventually it'll be $15 a month like everything else. I mean, for me, I don't get how they make money at $6.99 a month, especially with the, like, massive amount of original, exclusive content they're going to have, never mind all the licensed stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine just on the Mandalorian, which is their Star Wars spin-off series, reportedly insanely expensive to make, and that's just one of over a dozen exclusive series they're going to have on this platform.
Yeah. So, want to talk about Colby? Do you have something else on this part? Otherwise, I think the content is really interesting.
No, I don't have anything else about the pricing.
Yeah, I mean, the content is all about the brands, right? They're big brands, starting with Marvel. We already knew about WandaVision, which follows Vision and Scarlet Witch and their relationship, as well as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We knew about those. We also have the animated series What If from Marvel that talks about alternate universe scenarios for Marvel characters. We also got announced, no details on it, but they will be bringing She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Moon Knight all to the streaming service. No specific dates as to when those will happen. And those will all be exclusive. On Star Wars, The Clone Wars is coming back in February 2020, exclusive to Disney+. We also talked about The Mandalorian, a Bounty Hunter spinoff. They also announced an Obi-Wan series starring Ewan McGregor is in development and will start shooting next year. And there's also been announced a Rogue One spinoff as well that will be coming at some point in the future. From Pixar and Disney, the live-action remake of Lady and the Tramp will be an exclusive. They're also doing an animated film, a Christmas film called Noelle, starring Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader. Jeff Goldblum's got an unscripted show. Pixar, a new series, Monsters at Work, which follows the sort of Monsters, Inc. universe, and that'll be a series exclusive there. They also announced High School Musical, the series.
This is my favorite one.
Which That is literally the title. High School Musical, the musical, the series. It follows a group of kids who go to the school the original High School Musical is based on. They're putting on their own production of High School Musical. It's very meta in that respect. Also, Lizzie McGuire is coming back with Hilary Duff in the title role, jumping forward to her when she's 30. And that's just what's announced so far.
Wow. Sounds like a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. But then you also have to remember they have the full Pixar catalog. They've got the full Star Wars catalog. They've got the full Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've got the full Disney animated catalog. You know, it's that old argument. Is it about having the most amount of content, or is it about having the content people want the most?
Right.
Well, I think in this case they've got it both of them.
Well, you're not wrong.
Like, who doesn't, like, they've got so many demographics covered. Star Wars, the musicals, the kid shows. I mean, the kid shows alone, like, if Disney Plus was just a kid-focused streaming service, like, hey, put on Disney Plus all of your favorite Disney movies, TV shows, as much as you can watch in 4K. $5 a month? God, they make so much money. But it's like, there's something for everyone. So I think this will be one of those things, like Hulu, like Netflix, that is just like, if people are streaming households, they'll just have it. Like, there's no question.
Well, it makes sense to me because they have an angle that works, right? When I look at, we've talked on the show about HBO Max before, which is Warner Media's upcoming streaming collective. NBC Universal is working on theirs. That's going to be coming out at some point next year. And for me, it's like, what about those would make me want to go out and get them? What is going to be on there that makes me go out of my way to get it? Netflix, I get. They have content I like. Hulu has a good angle because it's all like the broadcast stuff, same day or next day. And to me, Disney Plus has the angle of that. It's all the hottest IP that's out there right now. Now, will that be the case in the future? I don't know. But at least at the moment, if you want to be in the loop, you know, for me, I haven't seen a Marvel Cinematic Universe film since Black Panther. I'm behind. I'm going to get this for $6.99 and catch up in a month. You know, and for me, that sells it right there. And you can't do that anywhere else.
This is true.
Okay.
It's a lot of movies to watch, Sean.
It is. It's intimidating, to be honest. But I feel out of the conversation.
Yeah. Did you hear the game ended?
I heard the war was on for Infinity, and then the game ended, and also Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, and then there was the big purple guy with the fist, and then the people who were fading away. I saw that meme, so that I know that's got something to do with it. He snapped or something. I don't know. I'm really behind. I got to catch up. And I know we all want to get it because Solo's going to be on there. And I don't think you guys have seen it yet, but I know we're all very excited for that.
Wait, what?
Solo?
The Star Wars movie?
Yes, the Han Solo prequel movie that everyone hated.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was good.
Was it? Okay.
I think I watched that. I didn't hate it either.
Okay. Well,
but I'm most excited.
Okay.
Like, the Mandalorian one, I think could be good, but the TV show Obi-Wan movie with Ewan McGregor.
Ooh, boy.
Like, that's going to be hard to screw up.
Yep. I agree. I'm excited for fun Marvel series. Like, Marvel movies are fun to some degree, but when you looked at, like, Jessica Jones or Daredevil, like, there wasn't any humor in it. Even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't really get a lot, but when I think about She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, these are, like, lighter titles. They're not, like, drama-heavy.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Remember when that was good for, like, a hot minute? And then...
Good for a solid season.
But, you know, I do have to give them credit, because there's one thing I feel about that show that nobody really gives them credit for, which is they operated at the whims of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, like when in Winter Soldier, when Hydra demolishes S.H.I.E.L.D., they had to write that into the show. They had to demolish S.H.I.E.L.D. in their show and had no choice about it and totally wreck what they were doing. And that happened multiple times over that show's run. So I have to give them a little bit of credit. But I agree, that show got so off the rails. And it's somehow still on.
I was gonna ask,
is.
is it still on?
It's in its
That's
sixth and
crazy.
final season right now.
Whew.
Yep.
I wonder if I should catch up on it.
I keep, you know, it's funny. I've tried many. I think I'm somewhere like in season 4, and I'll watch like 5 or 6 of them, and then I'll be like, I don't like this. But then I'll come back like 6 months later and watch a couple. I don't like this.
The last thing I remember was that they went to some alien planet. I don't know. Does that tell you at all where
They
it
did
was?
that a couple times, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
I feel like Dan. I feel like we ended at the same spot.
Okay.
There was like the big artifact, the thing
Yes.
stuck the
Yes.
people in.
Okay. I'm past
There
that.
was like a blue deserty planet with a
Yes.
thing on it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. You're feeling. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yep. That's all I remember though.
Well, hopefully this stuff will be better. I hope. But we'll see. Coming November. Obviously, not all the. I believe at. You know what's funny is they announced all these series, but they weren't super clear what will be there at launch. I know The Mandalorian, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier were all like their early announced stuff, so I would assume they'll be ready. But don't hold me to that. I don't know
But
specifically.
yeah, I guess they didn't say.
Oh, it says here, Mandalorian starts streaming November 12th, so we'll be there at launch. I'm not sure about these other ones. But there you go. So you'll have plenty to watch. We've got time for one more quick story. If there's anything in here.
Quick story.
Do a rest in peace to Android. We've got
Android 10.
no more dessert names. We can do Instagram's working on a new app. We've got cell phone technology that doesn't use cell phones.
I mean, let's do a lightning round.
All right.
Apple's apparently announced that this other feature called walkie-talkie that isn't the walkie-talkie that was disabled and re-enabled on the watches recently, but instead allowed you to like communicate with other Apple or other iPhones without a cell network.
Do you remember those the old push-to-talk Nextel phones people used for a
Yeah.
while? Same
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
Same idea. It would allow people to send messages. They weren't calls at this point anyway, but they were text messages sent to other iPhones over a 900 megahertz radio spectrum that's typically used for dispatchers in the utility and manufacturing industries, allowing the phones to talk like walkie-talkie for texts. You wouldn't need a cell signal. Intel and Apple were working on it together. It would have required special chips in there to hit that spectrum. The project reportedly went by the name Ogres, referring to off-grid radio service. It's technology that they filed a patent for, but apparently they've now shelved it. The internal champion of the project left Apple earlier this year, and then with the whole Intel chip debacle, it just never went anywhere.
So I had never heard of this. It sounds really cool. I'm sad I won't see it.
That sounds neat.
Dessert names, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Android dessert names for Android 10, which would have been Android Q. They have decided to drop the dessert naming tradition that had been on for quite some time. It will now simply be known as Android 10. We don't even get Q. We get Android 10. They also debuted a new logo and new typeface. A word mark, I guess, as they call it. They say it's more modern. It will feature the little green robot, the little Android robot there. And that's basically the scoop.
That's it. Basically it. The logo, I couldn't tell the difference looking at it.
The green, I think, is slightly brighter. It's a slightly different green than the old green. It's a little more minty.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, they have this article has a little slider thing.
Yep, to compare the old
Oh,
one to
that's
the new
cool.
one. Yeah,
That's
the font's a
cool.
little bit different. And yeah, it'll just be 10, which I guess on some level makes sense. It ran its course. I think the dessert thing was fun for a while, but I think once you get to Q, I think you can at some point. Do you think it's just because they were like worried about X and just kind of wanted to quit while they were ahead?
Maybe. It's kind of weird now everything is version 10 at the same time.
I was just thinking that.
Isn't that
Yeah.
odd?
No, these phones kind of started around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Apple already skipped a number to get there. So
That's true.
So did Windows.
Yeah. Wait, why doesn't anyone like Windows? Why does
Yeah, what's
they
wrong
both
with 9?
skipped 9?
Well, but there was Windows and Windows. There was 8 and 8.1, which was sort of 9. But you're right. I mean, they skipped the number. 8.1 was a bad name.
8.1.
Yeah, 8 was so bad we needed a 0.1.
All right. That's it for my lightning round.
Okay, there wasn't too much else interesting in there, so we'll go ahead and move on to picks. This is the part of the show where each of us brings something we want to share with the world. I'm going to jump in and go first because mine is quick. It's a cruise pick. I was getting some compliments on these bad boys at the beach. If you go to a rocky beach, we got a couple of Connecticut, Rhode Island guys here. They know rocky beaches, and you don't want to go
much
there
all I know.
without footwear, the proper footwear. But water shoes, for the longest time, look bad. They're not stylish. You don't want to go flirt with some ladies with your gross old school childish water shoes. You want something.
I want to hear more about what happened on this cruise.
Oh man, you have no idea. I was off the charts.
I've got a photo for you, Dan. I'll share it later.
Oh no, that's not good. I don't know if it's a liter. Probably not. A letter. A letter is a company. Leader is a company that makes water shoes. That's all they do. I picked up. They have a whole range of different shoes with different features that range anywhere from $25 up to $60. I picked up the X-Drain Classic 2.0 water shoes. They look just like sneakers, but they're actually water shoes, and they're extremely comfortable, and they dry nicely, and they were great, and they were only $30. So if you're going to a beach or you just need a pair of water shoes, they're very comfortable. They look like sneakers, but they're water shoes. The water comes right through them. But this company has a whole range of different shoe options. So you can check it out at aleadergear.com or on Amazon. The link will be on our website.
Cool.
Colby,
I'm going to check these out.
I'm curious about your pick here. You've got my attention.
I got the Power Beats Pro a while ago. They're pretty good. They're very secure. They do all the things the AirPods do. One time something weird happened where one of them wasn't working, and I don't know why. But I put them both back in the case, and then I put them back on, and it was okay. So I don't know what happened there. But I really like them so far. They do not hurt my ears like the AirPod shaped headphones do. Mm-hmm. My only suggestion for anyone who might be getting these is do not take them to the beach because sand will get stuck in the button and it will fuck up the button. Oh, no. So that was a thing I did not consider beforehand. So the button on one of my Power Beats does not work super reliably right now. I'm hoping that eventually that grain of sand will work its way out of there and then I can go back to living my life.
Well, like the waves in the ocean, eventually you'll grind it down into nothingness.
Yeah, but the good news is both earphones have the same buttons on them. Both
nice.
Earphones have a main clicky button and a volume button, which is nice too. And the other thing, I haven't decided if I like you take the earphones out and they stop playing. Because on the one hand, it's cool when that's what you want to happen. But sometimes my ears just itchy or something and I need to take it out and readjust. And there's also a button on it. So if I want to pause it, if I take it out, I can just pause it by pressing the button. But
now, Colby, you've never used AirPods?
No.
No desire?
Well, I have the desire. It's just, it seems risky.
Oh, because they don't fit your ears?
Yes. And to be fair, I've never used the AirPods. I just know that, like, the regular Apple headphones,
Right.
more than 20 minutes hurts my ears.
Gotcha. On the annoying take them out of your ear thing, I for some reason my brain is telling me that there's a setting for that.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just don't know if I want to yet.
Okay. What color did you get?
So my other headphones, my other wireless headphones died like a month ago. So I got them when only the black was available. So I have the black ones. I think just the other day, like this week, they released all the colors, which I'm super jealous of. I would totally get the navy. I would totally get like the off-white ones.
Yeah, and they're saying there might be more coming towards the Apple event as well. So
God,
I might want to hold off till after that. Yep.
I hate it.
Well, return them. Say they came with sand in them.
Yeah.
See if
These
you
are
can get your money.
broken.
Yep. Too much sand in the factory. That's great. Powerbeats Pro. Very cool. Very nice. All right, Dan, take us home.
All right. So I have found a new podcast, which Colby has already listened to, but I have now listened to more episodes, and I'm even more strongly recommending Strong Songs. So I think it was probably Colby who previously recommended Song Exploder, which more explores the like production of music. Like, oh, here's this like crazy wacky sound. How'd they make that? Let's listen to it. It's on its own. Strong Songs is way more about the music theory side and is very approachable. So if you ever wondered like what is a blues chord and like why is it a blues chord? What are blues songs? What are blues changes? What makes them sound sad? This podcast is really interesting. I listened to 3 episodes, actually more, but 3 episodes I remember. One about jazz, which was like, okay, this guy, I verify that he knows what he's talking about. One about Hamilton, which was super interesting, and he picks up on a lot of little musical themes in that musical that I hadn't picked up on. It added a lot to subsequent re-listenings for me. And then my most recent one of his more recent episodes about TV shows, where he looks at TV show themes. And then that was too broad of a topic, so he looks at animated TV show themes, starting with The Simpsons, followed by what else but DuckTales, and then doing a detour into Japanese anime, one of which was Cowboy Bebop, and I don't remember what the other one was. But was also really like fun and interesting. And I also started listening to his Q&A episode where someone asked him like, hey, in Back to the Future when the guy says, all right, give me a blues and B, watch me for the changes. Could a band actually take that information and know enough to play a song? And he answers it in a really in-depth way.
Oh, neat.
It's just a lot of fun. Check out Strong Songs.
It's pretty cool. It's much nerdier than Song Exploder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Hamilton episode is amazing.
Yep, he's good at music.
Cool. StrongSongsPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast. You can check that there. We'll have the link to that and all the pics on our website following the publication of the show over at don'tpanic.io. Guys, anything else you'd like to share or plug here?
No, sir.
No, sir. Well, I do want to thank the couple folks who I'm aware of who joined us live, Rob and my brother and others who joined us tonight. Monday nights, 10:15 Eastern, twitch.tv/don'tpanicshow, facebook.com/don'tpanicshow. We're live there. Before I get to all the plugs on this stuff, guys, you know what I got to plug.
Is Up for Debate back?
Up for Debate, well, we never left, but we're back.
Oh.
We just published an episode this past week, the second half of our 2-parter on our summer book club. Matt made me read The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, which is a 600-page, Japanese-translated, realistic fantasy philosophy book. I don't know how to describe it. It was maybe the weirdest thing I've ever read. And spoiler alert,
Wow.
I loved it. and would recommend other people read it. Now, the good news is, if you don't want to listen to Matt and I talk for an hour about a book you probably have never heard of and didn't read, the good news is we spend the first 45 minutes of the episode, analyzing the new 8 XFL team names and logos.
Oh, yes.
Which is they're very funny. And
this is the content I'm here for.
See, there you go. And we talk about the new title of the next James Bond film, which was just announced, and give our thoughts and opinion on that. So come for that, and then stay for the Wind Up Bird Chronicle. I actually do recommend people read that. Maybe you want to read that and then listen to that. It was a fun episode. You can check that out. I don't know what we're going to be talking about this coming week. We floated a few ideas. We'll know on Thursday, so join us there. And we're only a month away from wrapping up the Summer Movie League and talking about the Winter Movie League. So we got a lot of stuff coming up there. UpForDebate.tv is the website, or search Up for Debate wherever you get your podcasts. This show, of course, Don't Panic. I mentioned the website name. Of course, you can get the show on all the major platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast, Pocket Cast, you name it, we're there. Just search Don't Panic and look for the red button. You can, of course, get us on YouTube as well for the video version. And you can follow us at Don't Panic Show on Twitter, and email us don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. We're going to be back next time with more tech news, fun discussions, overall great times. We'll get some updates on what's going on. On behalf of Colby and Dan, I'm Sean. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time for another great evening on another Don't Panic.